Hare Krishna. Very warm welcome to everyone who has joined us for the second evening. And Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna.
I'm Apurva Shakti.
Fine.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Maharaj, you can start. Hare Krishna. Warm welcome to everyone.
Hare Hare. So, if I can chant for 2-3 minutes, is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj, please.
Sure, Maharaj.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giribharadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giribharadhari Yasodanandana Vraja Jana Ramjana Yasodanandana Vraja Jana Ramjana Yamuna Teravana Chari Yamuna Teravana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Teravana Chari Yamuna Teravana Chari Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Sri Radhe Jaya Radha Gopinata Radha Gopinata Sri Radhe Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Sri Radhe Jai Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gaura Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Gopal Krishna Goswami Kamini Prabhupada Saitanya Prakasha Vitiracha Pacharan Girvan Sadhu Pati Maha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyanana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakambitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vindavanesware Visavano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarvyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we continue again about the pastimes of the Supreme Lord in Sri Vrindavan Dhama. And as we discussed from the last meeting that we had yesterday, that Sri Vrindavan Dhama is not of this world. It may have been considered as located in Uttar Pradesh or part of India or in this planet Earth, but actually it is not in this world. It's not part of the material world. Chinmaya Rasa is completely transcendental. It may be all appearing here in the material world, but it is not. And also the inhabitants here may be considered as like ordinary, living in different villages or forests, or different occupational duties, but they're not also ordinary souls. It says that to live in Vrindavan or to take birth in Vrindavan is very auspicious. They're not ordinary souls. To live in Vrindavan also, the Brajabasis, they're called Brajabasis, who took birth here and who lives here, they're also very auspicious, considered, compare that if you live outside of Vrindavan, it's very, very auspicious. But to live one's body, that means if one dies in Vrindavan, that is most auspicious. Prabhupada says it's guaranteed that one will go back home, back to Godhead. It is not by chance. This is the will of the providence. And for those who perform some sinful activities while they are here in Vrindavan during their life, when they die, Prabhupada says in one of the purports in the 5th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, then therefore they will take birth again in Vrindavan, but in the lower species of life. They'll be like animals, lower species. That's why you've seen many monkeys here, or dogs, or pigs, or yes, they are considered as being sinful from their last life. And this will be also their last life. So this holy dham is very, very purifying, that even though one performed sinful activities and it is prohibited, of course, if one commits offenses in the holy dham, then the reaction is also multiplied so many times. Just like if one performs bhakti in the holy dham free from any self-interest or motivation, then the result also is unlimited practically. One gets mercy and the blessings from the Supreme Lord. So, yes, so how do we see Vrindavan? How do we see Vrindavan? Just like this morning in the announcement here in the Krishna Balaram Mandir, we make the announcement and we read this nice purport or nice lecture from Srila Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita in Sridham Mayapur. Bisaya Chadiya Kabe Sudahabeman Kabe Habe Heribo Sri Vrindavan Dham. That one cannot see Vrindavan in its real purity, in its real form, if one has material desires, if one still has material anxieties and material desires. We should get rid of these material desires and material anxieties, anxieties for what we don't have and anxieties for what we lost. Naso chati nakangshati. This is the Brahma Bhuta platform. We have to come to the Brahma Bhuta platform or transcendental platform to have pure vision of Vrindavan. Prabhupada says in one of his lectures that Vrindavan is none different than Krishna. Vrindavan, just like Krishna is worshipable, similarly Vrindavan is worshipable. So to actually experience Vrindavan, the person has to stop trying to derive pleasure from material enjoyment. And that is our goal. Prabhupada says that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, that yes, in order for us to really attain the highest destination, Goloka Vrindavan, then we have to give up this propensity to enjoy or to lord it over the material energy. Bisaya Chariya Kabe Sudahabiman Kabe Hava Herivo Sri Vrindavan Dham. This is Narottam Das Thakur. So, if you come by train or by plane or by bus or by car to Vrindavan, it's not necessarily that you will see Vrindavan. It is not buying ticket to come to Vrindavan and then you come to Vrindavan that you will see real Vrindavan. Prabhupada says we have to take shelter of Shishi Gornitai to become cleansed. Especially we have to give up the propensity of overeating or sleeping or mating. We have to be cleansed of all of these desires ultimately, because this is the enjoying propensities that, especially in human platform, is very easily available Everyone is struggling so hard to make plans how to have something nice to eat, or having a nice sleeping quarters, or having enjoying the opposite sex. So many devotees have left their families to come to Vrindavan, and giving up all of these material desires or offenses, and to completely depend on Lord Krishna. Yes. Ultimately, this is how we can see Vrindavan. And to stay in Vrindavan means to perform tapasya, to perform austerities. We should, I remember in the early days when I was starting to come here, we used to just have khichdi for breakfast. But now it's starting to become opulent. We have 2 sabjis, rice, dal, chapatis, and ghee. Of course, if it's available, then we should have it. But then we should not hanker for more and more and more. Just like here in Vrindavan, there's so many high skyrocket, like skyscrapers, practically, very, very tall buildings, to give the availability for those who will come and would like to retire in Vrindavan, these facilities, but it lose the intensity of one's bhajan or worship of the Supreme Lord if we have all of these, you may say, luxuries in life, because Vrindavan is meant for tapasya. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that when Krishna manifested himself in Vrindavan, so both the devotees and non-devotees saw him with their very eyes, but only the devotees cherished him. You must have remembered the pastimes of Lord Krishna when he entered along with Balaram and his cowherd boyfriends. They entered Mathura. So different personalities saw Lord Krishna in different ways. Like the elderly mothers, they embraced Lord Krishna as like their own son, and Balaram. The wrestlers, they see Krishna and Balaram as just mere boys, can be easily defeated. And Kamsa, they see Krishna as death personified. So different, or the yogis, the brahmanas, they see Krishna as a super soul within their hearts. So different personalities see Krishna in different ways. But the pure devotees of the Supreme Lord, they see Krishna as Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we have to have these eyes of love of Godhead. If one wants to see Krishna or Vrindavan in its real identity, because there is no difference between Lord Krishna and Vrindavan. But ultimately, though, it says that Vrindavan is manifestation of Balaram's energy. Balaram's energy. So the eyes of the devotee is nothing but the eye of pure devotion towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The eye of a pure devotee is the actual eye of a pure unalloyed jiva, and they can see Krishna. As Prabhupada says also, Krishna, even nowadays, he is here in Vrindavan, they can see Krishna though, those who are pure in their hearts, in their own heart. Yes. So yes, in Vrindavan it is fault-free. It is fault-free. We may see some defects in Vrindavan, but they're not really defects. To see them is in ignorance. It's like even modern day Vrindavan. We may see so many things which are not very pleasing to the eyes. Some places, like you may see, oh, there is so crowded or too much filthy area, a lot of garbage or so on. So, but this is not. This is not. This is just like to the suffering. It says here, to the suffering, decay, or other defects in Vrindavan is an illusion, a great illusion. Because Vrindavan is a transcendental place. It's the most exalted. So Vrindavan is worshipable. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed us that Krishna is worshipable, and Krishna's place, Vrindavan, is also worshipable. There is no difference. That's why when the devotee says, Jai Jai Vrindavana Basi Yatta Jan. All glories to the residents of Vrindavan. So Vrindavan Dham is worshipable. Also the Brajabasis, those who resides here, because of their love towards the Supreme Lord. And one time Srila Prabhupada was once asked by one of his disciples, he says, do they need guru? The Brajabasis. Prabhupada says, not necessarily, because within their heart, their guru is Lord Krishna. So it's very difficult to understand the glories of Sri Vrindavan Dham, and that's why we need a guide or spiritual master. When you come to Vrindavan, then you need a guide or a mentor who'll be able to give you directions and show you the proper eyes. They are your eyes to see Vrindavan Dham. For the conditioned souls like us, our eyes to see the Supreme Lord is through the scriptures and also through our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. When you enter Vrindavan, you must have noticed there is this what we call Bhaktivedanta Swami Gate near Chitrakut Ashram, where there is a big statue of Ganesh. This Bhaktivedanta Swami Gate actually is our entrance. This is our gateway to enter Vrindavan. And we cannot enter Vrindavan without the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is they considered him as their hometown boy, hometown sadhu, who spread the glories of Vrindavan all over the world. So Vrindavan is as worshipable as that of Krishna. It says here, by just uttering the name of Vrindavan, one attains the merit of chanting Krishna's holy name. If you're very far away, just like you can get purified by chanting Ganga. You want to take bath in Ganga, but you're very far. There's no Ganga in Oman, in Muscat, unless you have bottle of Ganga Jal. But then get purified in that way. So if you utter Vrindavan with sincerity, you also get the merit of chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna. By hearing the name of Vrindavan, one acquires the merit of hearing Krishna's Leela. Because Vrindavan means Krishna and his associates and their pastimes. It's like when you say the holy name of the Lord, Krishna or Ram, is complete. The whole spiritual world is there. When you say Krishna, Krishna is never alone. That means also Vrindavan is included, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan is there. By touching Vrindavan, one obtains the merits of saintly association. This is the first thing that one do when they enter Vrindavan. They offer obeisances to the holy Dham by bowing down. There are a few things that one must do. One should also fast when you come to Vrindavan, when you enter Vrindavan. This is the way that when Akrura came, he bowed down and he saw the lotus imprints, the lotus feet imprints of of Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. And he was fasting. He was always thinking of Vrindavan, even before entering Vrindavan. We should follow in the footsteps of Akrura, because he was asked by King Kangsha to invite them for a wrestling match, and Akrura is a relative also of Krishna and Balaram. So it says here that by smelling the fragrance of Vrindavan, one is blessed by the merit of smelling the sweet fragrance of tulsi leaves offered to Lord Govinda. Yes, Vrindavan means forest of tulsi, Brinda Devi. As we mentioned also yesterday, that she is like the interior decorator of Vrindavan. What trees should be there, what plants, what birds, what animals, what groves, or what kind of waterfalls, all of these things. And the more we think of Krishna, the more we will think of Vrindavan. Now, for some, they may have heard of Vrindavan from Srila Prabhupada's books, and they're always thinking of Vrindavan based from the descriptions of Srila Prabhupada in his books. Now, if he's always thinking of that, when will I come to Vrindavan? When will that day? But due to some responsibilities, let's say there's some work that needs to be done, family responsibility, or lack of funds, because some of our devotees, they have to save their money for many years to come here in some of the countries, poor countries. Now let's say it says in the Vrindavan Mahimamrita, the glories of Vrindavan, that if one always keep thinking of Vrindavan in his consciousness, and somehow he died not reaching Vrindavan, but always thinking of Vrindavan, so next life he'll take birth in Vrindavan. Yes, he'll take birth in Vrindavan. So Vrindavan consciousness means Krishna consciousness. So now in Vrindavan, Vrindavan is like Van, forest. And there are many forests. There's about 12 main forests in Vrindavan, but the Acharyas mentioned so many of them, over 130 plus. We'll not be able to mention all of them, but some of them are located on the other side of Yamuna, and the others are located on the other side of Yamuna, east or west, something like that. Yes. So Vrindavan is a forest whereby the Supreme Lord performed his pastimes, and he took birth in Mahavan, Gokul. We'll be observing the Supreme Lord's pastimes of appearance. And it says that his appearance, or the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, is actually going on, not just in this material world, in our universe, but in different universes all over the material world. It's like the sun rises at a certain horizon in our planet, but then at the next moment, the sun will rise. Seemingly, the sun is always there, but the sun will be showing himself in a different locale or a different time zone. So similarly, the sun rises and sets, but again, the sun is always there. Similarly, the pastimes of the Supreme Lord is like this. As soon as Lord Krishna took birth here in our planet, then the next moment, Krishna will take birth in a different universe. And then the next moment, Krishna will take birth again in a different universe. Practically unlimited universe. As Prabhupada gave an example, our universe is the smallest. That's why our head, Lord Brahma, the topmost jiva, only has 5 or 4 heads. Chaturmukhi. Brahma, Bole, Chaturmukhi. So, when Lord Krishna takes birth, and let's say takes birth here, then the next moment he'll take birth in a different universe, or he killed Putana, then the next moment he will be killing Putana also in another universe. This is how the Supreme Lord's pastimes goes on. So, yes, there's so many forests in Vrindavan, and different groves, different flowers, different bowers, different ponds or kundas, different lakes are there, different ways how the Supreme Lord can be facilitated in his pastimes. There are 12 major forests in Vrindavan. In the eastern bank of Yamuna River, there are 5, namely Badravan, Bandirban, Bilban, Lohaban, and Mahaban. And in the western side, bank of the Yamuna, there are 7 of them: Bahulavan, Kamyavan, Kandirvan, Kamudvan, Madhuvan, Talavan, and Vrindavan. We will try to explain or different pastimes of the Supreme Lord in these different forests in the following days. So, yeah, the Braj is divided in this way into different forests, vans. That's like there are 5 major mellows or relationship that one can have, or there is also another 7 secondary. So it is compared to this. It says here the forest has 12 different locales or areas within Vrindavan, and the whole place is called Braj. When you say Vrindavan, it's also called Braj, but there is also a forest called Vrindavan itself. And it says here that it is estimated to be 84 krosas, or 160 miles, 8 miles. The area of the whole Braj. And of this, the special forest known as Vrindavan is located at the present municipality of Vrindavan to the village called Nandagram. So where we are right now, this is Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram Mandir, and also the place where we are located is called Raman Reti. There are 2 Raman Retis in Vrindavan. One Raman Reti is located in Gokul, Mahavan. Raman Reti means very soft sand, silvery color. They're so soft that it's so mystical, especially in Raman Reti in Gokul. We've been a few times. One can roll on the ground. One can even throw dust straight to your eyes, and you will not get hurt. Your eyes will not be irritated at all. If you do that in Delhi, some dust someone will throw straight to your eyes, maybe you have to go to the hospital or something. This is the very, very soft, very fine, like Johnson baby powder. Finer than the Johnson baby powder. And this dust actually is none different than Lord Krishna also. We mentioned that yesterday, that the dust of Vrindavan that can give you immediate love of God is so powerful that even great personalities like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, they will wait when Lord Krishna will come back from his pasturing of the cows, 900,000 cows of Nanda Maharaj, because the dust that's been touched by Lord Krishna and his associates, Lord Balaram and other cowherd boys, is so purifying. This is rare. Even one speck of this dust cannot be equal to the entire wealth in the universe. That they will smear, the demigods, they would like to smear this dust towards their head. And the Brajabasis also, there are, because they know the value of the dust of Vrindavan, that when they travel, they will carry some of this dust, put them in a small container, and they will even sprinkle some dust to their food. They will eat them. They'll put them in their heads to always remember Vrindavan and not to be separated from Vrindavan. So great personalities like Uddhava, who is the relative cousin of Lord Krishna, he was the last one who had darshan of the Supreme Lord before the Supreme Lord wound up his pastimes. He says, I don't mind being a creeper. A creeper means like a small plant. I don't mind being a creeper. All I wish is just to have the dust from the devotees of the Supreme Lord to be smeared on my head when they walk by. Similarly, Lord Brahma also. Lord Brahma, his prayer also is that he may take birth as a creeper within the vicinity of Vrindavan, or even in the immediate outside boundary of Vrindavan, so that when the devotees, the pure devotees of the Supreme Lord, they will walk, then his head also will be smeared because of the dust that's been created by the lotus feet of the pure devotees of the Supreme Lord. So forest means there's so many trees. There's this what you call Kadamba tree. There is Tamal tree. Kadamba tree has yellow flower. These are generally seen in Vrindavan area where Lord Krishna performed his pastimes. It is having these very large round yellow flowers, very heavy herbal aroma. And this Kadamba tree signifies Srimati Radharani. And the Tamal tree signifies Lord Krishna. He has the same color, and sometimes due to feeling of separation, Srimati Radharani, when she sees Kadamba tree, she would mistakenly think that that is Lord Krishna. Being very dear to Lord Krishna is the Kadamba tree. They perform so many pastimes in this Kadamba tree with Krishna and his cowherd boyfriends as well. In Terkadam, this is a place of forest of Kadamba. This is in Nandagram. We were there a few days ago. This is the place where Srila Rupa Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis, he wrote lots and lots of books, many books on Rasa Sastra, and especially this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or Srila Prabhupada translated into the Nectar of Devotion, which Srila Prabhupada says this is the law book of our movement, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In this Kadamba tree also, in Terkadam, Krishna will go just at the end of the day, because Krishna will come back with his cows. So Krishna will go on top of one of the trees, one of the Kadamba trees, and then he will call all the different names of the cows. He has just, it's like we have counter beads to know or to see how many rounds we have chanted, because 16 rounds for those who are initiated. So Krishna also has a counter beads to make sure that all the cows will go back to his place, to Nanda Maharaj's house or palace, to the Goshala. And all of them had different names, and he remembered all of them. And he says that all these different cows has different colors: yellow, red, black, white, and they have different shapes. The head, he says that some of them have a mridanga shaped head. So this Kadamba tree is very dear, and for Radharani, Tamal tree is very dear, that sometimes when she feels fatigued, she will lie down under the Tamal tree and she will be thinking that she's on the lap of Lord Krishna. Yes, there's so many things that we can talk about the trees, but maybe we can talk more about that tomorrow on different pastimes. Yes, Prabhupada says, because here in Krishna Balaram Mandir, we have this Tamal tree, but this Tamal tree that we have is not the original Tamal tree. The original Tamal tree, when this temple has been constructed, but in the beginning, the architect or the contractor, not the architect, our architect is Surabhi Swami, disciple of Srila Prabhupada. The contractor was saying that we should cut down this tree, but Prabhupada stopped him. Prabhupada says, no, you cannot. So the tree every day will have darshan of the Supreme Lord. They will receive bits of Mahaprasadam from Shishirada Shama Sundar, and the tree started to grow and grow and grow. And Prabhupada says that, yes, this Tamal tree is growing luxuriantly, and it indicated that the devotees were performing genuine bhakti. It's like a barometer. It's like tulsi. You know, if you have tulsi at home, tulsi plant, then the tulsi will grow because of your bhakti. So if you have tulsi in your villa or your residence, that means you are also in Vrindavan. Because Tulsi Devi, none other than Brinda Devi. So we can stop here now. It's 9:45 almost in Vrindavan time. And we can continue more tomorrow, and we'll have more of the different pastimes of the Supreme Lord. I know I will go over. Half an hour is not enough, but we have to stop somewhere because it's getting late in Vrindavan. Do you have any questions or points?
So if anybody has anything to say, then you could unmute yourself. You can raise your hand. That way we will know. Yes, I believe Anupama Radharani. Unmute yourself.
Please accept my respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet.
Hare Krishna.
You mentioned that gain entry into the holy dham, or we need the blessings of Prabhupada.
Right.
Is it true of all the holy dhams, or is it just true of especially Vrindavan?
Well, you know what? All the holy places are inside the holy dham. Okay. Mayapur, our also means of getting and realizing Mayapur is Srila Prabhupada. He brought Mayapur all over, Gornitai all over the world. He brought Krishna all over the world. So he is like the main personality that will let us and show us Vrindavan and Mayapur. And Jagannath Puri also, what to say? In Jagannath Puri, when they were doing parikrama with his disciples, Prabhupada was being invited to come inside the Jagannath temple by the priests. Prabhupada says, if you don't let my disciples come in, I will not go in. I will not just go in myself and my disciples will not. So the personality who will give us the passage to go back to Godhead is Srila Prabhupada. He's the way how we can see and realize Vrindavan, Mayapur, all the holy dhams practically, because he is the Samstapaka Acharya. He is the founder Acharya of our movement. He is the main spiritual master of our movement for the next 10,000 years. Some acharyas may come when after us, what is 10,000 years? You're lucky if you live 200 years or 150 years. So we don't know. Some prominent acharyas will come, but no one can be equal or greater than Srila Prabhupada. Always remember this. We have our own guru. Our own guru, actually, he's the one who places us unto the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. He offers us to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. Our connection to Krishna is through our guru, then Prabhupada. But without Prabhupada, we are nowhere. You will not be in chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or we're not going to be here talking about Vrindavan. Isn't it? Huh? Without Srila Prabhupada, we're gone. We're gone.
Maharaj, should we, like those of us who can visit or go inside Jagannath Puri temple, should we go or should we also refrain from going inside?
No, if you were, I mean, I went inside the Jagannath temple. I'm a Filipino. I'm not, well, you know, you're from India. You can enter. Why not? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Jagannath himself. So why not? You have not been inside the Jagannath temple?
I've been there, Maharaj.
So go. If it will increase your faith and love towards Lord Krishna. You should be greedy, okay? Anything that can develop or increase your love and faith towards the Supreme Lord, irregardless of whatever it is, you should grab it. Take advantage of it. Okay. Yes. Hare Krishna. Anything else?
Please raise your hands if there's anyone else. Otherwise, thank you, Maharaj. It was such a sweet remembrance of Sri Vrindavan Dham. And I think to make the remembrance again, and also for those maybe who haven't gone, who may aspire, who may just long to visit this wonderful place. But as you said, it's not just seeing with the eyes, one must have the right attitude. So I hope that with your introduction, at least everybody can understand the right mood to have to cultivate before
Yeah.
visiting Dham.
You don't come to Vrindavan like as a tourist. And it says that when you come to the holy place or holy dham, you just don't go, especially in Vrindavan, you don't go straight to Loi Bazaar. Okay? Anyone who knows Loi Bazaar is the place where so many devotional items, saris and dhotis and so on. But one should seek or one should search for sadhu or saintly personalities. One should hear from them discourses, because the purifying effect that one can have when they come to Vrindavan is multiplied, multifolds, unlimitedly practically. That when you hear from the pure devotee, when you come to Vrindavan, your hearts will melt and will become more and more purified. Okay? So we stop here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yes,
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Dandavad
you,
Pranam.
sir.
Thank you.
Please accept our
Welcome, Maharaj.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya patanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namaha. Jai Shri
Hare Krishna
Vrindavan.
Maharaj, Dandavad Pranam ji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Thank you, Prabhuji.
Pranam Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Yes,
Krishna
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you very much.